take down your barn or pay $100 a day. That was the HOA's idea of a love letter. I was halfway through fixing the belt on my old John Deere when the envelope slid under my gate like a snake in the grass. White paper, bold red stamp. Violation notice. According to them, my barn, built by my grandfather in 1962, was an unauthorized structure. Now, I don't know about you, but where I'm from, a man's barn isn't just a building. It's history, sweat, and a whole lot of Saturday mornings. So when some clipboard warrior tells me it's gotta come down, well, let's just say I set my wrench down a little harder than usual. At first, I figured it was a mistake. Maybe some new guy at the HOA office got his wires crossed. So I called. The voice on the other end? Karen Worthington, HOA president. Sharp tone, sharper attitude. She said, "That barn is non-compliant, unsightly, and a danger to property values." I said, "Ma'am, it's..." She said, "Well, times change. Either it's gone in 30 days or we'll fine you into compliance." Click. That was the beginning. The first fine hit 2 weeks later. $700. Then another. And another. She had the gall to tape them right on my barn door, like graffiti with a letterhead. But fines weren't enough for her. No, she had to make it personal. I came home one night to find orange spray paint across the barn. Illegal structure. My security camera caught her and 2 of her board lackeys doing it. Broad daylight. They didn't even bother hiding their faces. That's when I stopped laughing it off. I called the sheriff. He told me civil disputes with HOAs are messy, but if I had evidence of vandalism, I should hang on to it. I did better than that. I printed stills from the footage, labeled each one, and stored the original drive in a fireproof safe. Meanwhile, Karen's campaign escalated. She sent letters claiming my livestock ken posed a biohazard. She accused me of storing toxic waste, which, for the record, was just motor oil in a sealed drum. And the kicker? She filed for an emergency injunction to have the barn demolished. Imagine that, waking up to find a backhoe parked at the edge of your land. Now, here's where patience pays off. Instead of yelling, I started digging. I called the county records office. Turns out, my barn had been registered on the original property plat long before Karen's HOA even existed. Legally, it was untouchable. But Karen didn't know that I knew. So when the HOA board scheduled their final vote on the barn, I showed up. Picture this. A folding table under a tent, HOA members in lawn chairs, Karen holding a gavel like she was queen of the county. She launched into her speech about my eyesore. Neighbors nodded, though half of them looked like they'd rather be anywhere. When it was my turn, I stood up slow. Pulled out a binder. Inside, the original property plat. County records showing the barn was exempt. Photos of Karen spray painting my door. And finally, the sheriff himself, stepping up right behind me with the case file in hand. The silence was sweeter than fresh cornbread. Karen stammered, tried to pivot, claimed misunderstanding and outdated records. Sheriff didn't buy it. He warned her that vandalism and trespassing are criminal charges, not HOA business. You should have seen her face when the neighbors turned on her. Folks who'd been quiet up until then started asking questions about fines, about missing HOA funds, about why she cared more about my barn than fixing the broken pool pump. That gavel and me, I repainted the barn door, oiled the hinges, and sat on the tailgate with a cold beer. Funny thing, when the sun hit that barn just right, it looked less like wooden nails and more like a monument. A reminder that sometimes you don't need fists to win a fight. Just patience, proof, and a backbone. Now let me ask you this. Would you have fought back like I did, or just paid the fines and let the barn come down? Drop your story in the comments. I read every single one. And if you've ever had your own run-in with a Karen in power, I want to hear about it. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about barns or fences. It's about standing your ground when someone tries to take what's yours.